Right, so the T-64. This is the bottom of Era 2. This is my very first game. This is the first game I ever played in the T-64, so we're stock. And what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to do a video on each of the tanks in this new line. And I'm going to go over my experience with them. But the way I'm going to try and format it is, I'm going to record my first game, and then I'm going to record my very last game, so that, you know, you get to see, well, what hopefully will be stock and then fully unlocked. We'll get to why that's not quite the case with the T-64 later. But that's my plan with this short series on what is this is the newest line in Era 2 Cold War. So we are completely stock at the moment. So that means we have 362mm of pen on standard, 450 on gold heat, and 115 on secondary high explosive. Ooh, hello, fancy. Explosive. 500 alpha on standard and gold, 630 on secondary. 2,350 hit points. Max speed, more max top speed of 65 kilometers an hour. 470 meters of view range. 400 meters of moving concealment. And 367 meters of still concealment. So that's stock. Now, the game prior to this one was, I think my game prior to this one. I may have had a couple of other games with different tanks, but from playing the line, I played the 430U not long before playing the stock T-64. So, if you've watched my 430U video, you know that I personally think it's very strong. It is a very strong tank. So I was kind of carrying that vibe, that expectation into this game, first game in the T-64. Now we'll get to the result at the end, but so far, if I remember from when I was playing this, I thought, you know, this feels okay. It's lacking gun depression, like all Russian tanks do. It's just part and parcel of playing Russian tanks. But I was starting to think at this point, this is a bottom tier medium. This is a M60, for example. Now, my memory of the M60 was not good. I don't think the M60 is a very strong tank. It's bottom of Era 2. It's bottom tier. It's not meant to be a very strong tank. But for example, that shot there in my side, I can guarantee that would have penned if I were in the M60. So I was already starting to get the feeling that this tank was good, strong, relative to the position it's in the tech tree. This feels good. This feels strong. And there's my first kill in the T-64 on another T-60. Was that a T-62? Can't see on my screen. Was that a T-62? That was a T-62. So, first kill, T-62. So yeah, we're stock. But it doesn't feel like it's a bad vehicle. It doesn't feel that bad. And that kind of makes it an enjoyable grind to an extent. I enjoyed this grind. The T-64, so I've got my head confused with T-62 and T-64. The T-64 stock, this feels, it doesn't feel like a stock tank. This feels pretty good. The mobility is good. The armor is good. The gun, yeah, it's acceptable. It's not amazing, but hey, you know, we're talking bottom tier here. It's not bad at all. I mean, if we look right now, I've blocked 3,320 damage. For a stock bottom tier Era 2 vehicle, that's not bad. I don't think anyone would argue that is a bad position to be in. Lucky there to survive the automat. The game is winding down now. They're stuck in the corner. My team's being very, very aggressive. And it's a case of just mopping them up now. But we've done 4,258 damage. I don't know if I get another penetrating hit. I do get another penetrating hit. There we go. 4,764. That is not bad for a stock bottom tier Era 2 tank. And I'm aware of this at the time of playing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're doing even better here as we go around. Final tank around the corner here. And I am a one-shot. I should have aimed that. E-bound. There you go. And again, yeah, not paying attention. Should have aimed better. That's my. I don't get another penetrating hit. But there you go. That is the first game in stock T-64. Not bad, and we get MVP. So, put yourself in my shoes. First game MVP, 5,286 damage. I'm thinking to myself, hey, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be a good grind. And for the most part, it was. Now, there is something to go over. Let's just upgrade this thing from a stats point of view. So now, we're on 427 millimeters of, well, and I'll just read off the fully upgraded stats. So now we're on 427 millimeters of pen standard, 470 gold, 125 secondary, 520 alpha on standard rounds, so you've got an extra 20 alpha with the top gun, 500 alpha on gold round, 630 on secondary heat, that's the same. Your hit points have gone up to 2,550, that's to be expected. Max speed is still the same. You don't get an upgraded engine in this thing, so you're stuck at 65 kilometers an hour, which, I mean, I say stuck, you're not really stuck, it's, yeah, it is what it is. It's not bad, it's acceptable really. 500 meters of view range, 400 meters of moving concealment, and 367 meters of still concealment, which I believe, I don't think that changes at all. I think the last couple of stats there don't change at all. So the real changes are, with the top gun, penetration on standard rounds, alpha on standard rounds, and the hit points. So those are the main things to look at when looking at the fully upgraded version. However, now it sounds good. Top gun, yep. You'd think, yes, that's the top gun. And this is where I noticed something, because what you're seeing right here, this is not me playing with the top gun. I've actually gone back to the standard gun, because what I noticed with the upgraded gun, rounds were dropping short all the time. If I fully aimed at a target, the aim reticle was as small as it would go. If there was a small part of the aim reticle that was not, how do I put this? If you've got the enemy tank outline, and if any part of my aim reticle circle was not covering the outline of the enemy tank, for whatever reason, my round would figure out a way of finding that little bit, and then I'd miss. So rounds were dropping short. It would miss shots that it just shouldn't miss, and I actually got annoyed with the top gun, because with the stock gun, yeah, you know, games don't always go your way. You have dicky shots here and there, but for the most part, the tank did what I wanted it to do. I put the top gun on it, I got the extra penetration, I got the extra alpha, but that was not worth the number of shots that were dropping short or just completely missing the target. And I got so frustrated with the top gun, because I felt, you know, it's not me playing this game anymore, it's RNG deciding that my fully aimed shot's going to miss, when, you know, what more can you do? I've fully aimed the shot and the game says no. That's annoying. That's very annoying. And that was the position I started getting into with the top gun. So this game is the stock gun. So I am back to 362 millimeters of pen and 500 alpha per shot. I never used any gold heat rounds, because spaced armor heat not very good in this, especially in era 2, not ideal. So this is using the stock gun. You guys may have had a similar experience, I'm not sure. If you have had a similar experience, then that kind of confirms where I'm coming from, or what my impression of this tank anyway. But yeah, I did not use the upgraded gun on the T-64. Now this game is winding down. I've got myself into a spot of bother. I need team support, but for whatever reason, those guys off to my right don't shoot the T-55. Even if they had, it wouldn't have mattered. So that was the very last game I played in the T-64. And if we take a look at the end of the game here, the stats, didn't win this one. So my last grind game was a loss. But hey, wow, 10,000 damage, 7 kills for the BMP2 on airfield. That's a stonking result. That's very good. Anyway, there we go. There's the last bit of XP. 2,600 XP earned, 4 kills. That's not bad. 3,652 damage and just under 1,400 assist. So the T-64, I think it's a good tank as long as you do not use the top gun. For what it is, for a bottom tier tank, for a bottom tier Era 2 medium, this is a very strong tank. Not the strongest in Era 2, obviously. Got to remember that it's bottom tier, but for a bottom tier, it's very good. Alright guys, you let me know what your experience with the T-64 has been, and let me know about the top gun. I'm curious to know if it's just me noticing that or if other people have noticed as well. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, if not a dislike, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one.